how you can take control of your online reputation and drive more sales. So this is a key part of what we call our digital dominance method, and it's a lot of things. And increasingly, as we move forward in time here, and more people go to the internet to find companies they want to work with, you really have to excel in all of these areas, and you can't leave any out. And we've talked about a lot of these. Today, we're going to, at a very high level, talk about reviews. And really, it's because it's probably, one of the strongest things that you control that can make an enormous difference for you. And so we're going to talk about, why you can have all the best tools in the world and yet still not get 5-star reviews. How to go about gathering them, multi-channel communication, which just means try different ways. We'll talk about how it's really a team sport in that, you can't be the only one in your organization that cares about them. Why you have to acknowledge and answer all of your reviews. And then, how you can, make this easier for yourself to manage. Okay. So why should you listen to me? I wrote the book Online Marketing for Paving Companies. We're a member of NAPA. I run Paving Marketers, of course, and I've been doing this a long time. I've owned agencies since 2011. So been in this space for a very, very long time. And, we have a lot of paving companies as our customers. So why should you care about reviews? And the reason is that they can make or break your company. How you're perceived online can make all the difference. And this is, as I mentioned, increasingly important over time now, as buyers get younger and are just more accustomed to searching online. So you really can't leave this to chance, especially when your online reputation might not reflect the quality of service that you provide. That's often the case, where you might see a company that's been around for 50 years that has 2 reviews, and they're probably one of the best paving companies in the area, reputationally and in the quality of their work. But without those reviews, someone new will have no clue. They just won't know. And a lot of people have invested in all the tools, but still aren't driving enough reviews. So we'll talk about this stuff. And failure just makes everything else harder for you. So all of your other marketing struggles to be successful if you don't back it up with online reviews. It's really that important. Everything else is much, 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 much harder without having those in place. So what is the opportunity here? It's really, when you take this seriously and you execute on this, you can become the provider of choice in your service area and stand out from the competition. And now this is especially true in the paving space, where you tend to not have as many jobs that you do every week compared to, say, garage door company or like an HVAC company or plumbing. I mean, those trucks are rolling all day long doing 4 or 5 jobs a day. It's typically not the kind of volume that you see. And so it is much harder to get a good quantity of reviews for paving companies. It really is. So that means you need less to stand out, but it's also harder to get them because you just have fewer swings at the bat. And so to maximize your chance of success, you got to leverage the tools that you have to the fullest and drive consistent high quality reviews. So that's just what you got to do. And then when you've done that, your reputation will speak for itself online. And that's what it boils down to. And if you do this well, you'll see it in your phone ringing. You'll know. And you'll become the go-to paving company in the area, especially over time. Again, as the business owners, the property owners get younger, this isn't going to go away. It's just going to become more important. And so we always ask, does this matter? And clearly it does. And if you look at the statistics, 84% of people trust an online review as much as they do a personal recommendation, which is crazy to me. I don't know where my team pulled this from, but they don't give me bad information. So, and I can see it. I mean, when you compare it with that, over 3/4 of consumers or purchasers think that reviews older than 3 months aren't relevant. So people who actually look at reviews, and not everybody does, some people just look at the total number and the ranking, but some people get in there, especially for bigger projects they want to see. And if you don't have recent reviews and lots of them, that's going to create a sales objection a lot of the time. And so online reviews are mission critical. And you have to have a process in place to do it, or it just will not happen. And why it's important. So we last year generated for our customers, across the portfolio, over 15,000 leads. And so then we looked at where they came from. So that's good data. Let's find out what drives leads for paving companies, right? And a third of them came from your Google business profile. And that's reviews. And so you could have the greatest Google business profile map rankings. Your GeoGrid could look great. If you don't have the reviews to back it up, people still won't call you. So, step one is getting the GeoGrid rankings, but step two or even step zero is getting the reviews. And when you have those two things together, you get the calls. It works every time. And you can see where the other leads come from. We've already done Google Ads and organic search and other to some degree. So, but number one, and also I own multiple marketing companies in different industries, and this is true in every home services type industry that we see. Everyone, the Google business profile is the place you need to succeed to grow. And so, they do impact your Google rankings. And to be more specific here, they impact your maps rankings. So I haven't seen any evidence or any data that suggests that reviews impact your organic rankings. I don't think they do in a major way. But undoubtedly, they improve your maps rankings. And we watch it happen in real time. We watch customers who get some good review campaigns going. We just watch their maps grow every single time. So it just helps in so many ways. I'll just keep saying it over and over again because it's just so important. As you mentioned before, 88% of consumers look at online reviews, and it's a major conversion factor. Just think about how you shop yourself. Think about if you need a plumber. What do? Well, you look for a plumber. Most people, they look at the map to see who's near them, and they look at the number and quality reviews. They're not calling the guy with 5 reviews that has 3 stars unless they know who he is and know he's a good company. If they don't know, they're just going to call the one closest to them with the most and best reviews. That's what happens. And so you can't sleep on this. It's critically important. So I think we've answered this. I think it's pretty clear why controlling and managing your online reviews is critical. And so let's talk about kind of 5 key principles of how you can attack this and how you can make improvements. The first one is, it all starts from actually providing good service and a world-class customer experience. And those are stupid words. I hate like the buzzword marketing language, but I think we all know what that means. You take good care of your customers. And if you do that, then when you ask for a review, you're more likely to get one, and obviously more likely to get a good one, right? And you want to build it into your company culture. And again, I don't like terms like this. But I think you know what it means. And I would say it this way. People who work at your company rely on your company for their job. And you rely on the company. It's a critical thing. And when you understand how important online reviews are towards the health and success of the company, then everybody who works there should care. From the guys, paving the roads and doing all the work, to the office people, to everybody. Everybody should care because it matters for the company, and so it matters for them. And so that's what it means about making it a part of the culture, making people understand how important it is. Getting their buy-in for helping is really important. And then keeping track of it. So, you manage what you measure, and, what you measure, inspect, and celebrate, you create more of. And so, you can find ways to have your crews get more reviews and incent them for it. You can't incent your customers. The FCC or whichever nutcase government agency watches this stuff will fine you, or they'll do crazy things if they catch you paying for reviews. But there's nothing wrong with incenting your staff for asking and for those asks successfully turning into reviews. So find a way to make it matter to them. And then you got to use best in class tools. And there's so many tools that do this. We'll look at a couple briefly. But don't just send an email manually to each one. I mean, you can if you want. I mean, if you wrote a personalized email to every single customer, uh, you know, that would be powerful. And if you have the time for that, by all means do it. But most people don't. And so better is to have a system that you'll actually use, where you just kind of plug people's information in and it does it for you. And so if you're not going to personalize everything, the next best thing is to have a tool and a system that will make sure it happens. And then the last thing is you have to acknowledge and respond to every review. And this is important because it actually helps with your maps rankings. So, you want to do it selfishly because it helps you, but then also if you're asking people to leave your reviews, and they do, by responding to it in a kind and appreciative way, I don't want to say you reward them for doing it, but it's nice to leave a review and nice for your review to be appreciated. I mean, someone has to go out of their way to do this for you. And so to get an acknowledgement back that that act is appreciated, it goes a long way. And so just do it. So think about the 5 things we just talked about, and pick 1 or 2 and just focus on those. Wherever you're weakest, work on that, and it'll help. That's what I'd recommend. And so I don't know why the slide is in here. Capturing positive reviews for your customers, maybe things you can do to do it. Yep. What's the strategy? So like we talked about, leverage tools. This says service call. I don't really think you guys do service calls, but you know what I mean. Every project, every job, every maintenance thing that you do that maybe is a smaller job, don't leave those to chance. Leave a printed review card with a QR code, something that makes it easy for people to just scan it, leave your review. Remove the barriers for them to do it. Have your guys plant the seed, and obviously you want them to do a good job in the first place. And obviously do great work. So you want them to give that world-class experience. And that's things like, don't leave mess. I don't really know many companies that do. People are usually pretty good. But, just do a great job. And then, it's different for everybody how you train your techs to plant the seed, train your crews. You may not want them. They may not really interact with the customers directly a lot of the time. So this might be different for you. Well, what you can do is make a call after the project to not only check in, how to go. Are you satisfied with the work? Did we clean up the site well? How's it look now? Do you have any questions? These follow-up calls after project are really great to do. And that's a great time too to be like, hey, if you could leave us a review, I'll send you a link. It really would help us out. It's really important for our company, and it helps us when you let other customers know that we took care of you. So doing stuff like that makes a huge difference. We've talked about building into your company culture. And the last thing I'll say here is, use multiple touch points or multiple avenues or multiple ways to do it. So, don't just send an email, but send a text, use these tools. You can do all of these things. So give them multiple chances. It will help you out. And there's lots of tools for this. I don't think a lot of you use Service Titan. But I mean, there's a ton. Bird Eye I don't like, but there's a million different tools for this. Just pick one and use one. and how to respond. If you have that tool, then you can get things like notifications letting you know that a review was left, and make sure you answer them, and task someone on your team to do this. Don't use AI tools. This is a new thing that's come up recently where they'll like write AI reviews for you. Don't do it. They're just going to sound awful. And it's better to leave no review than to leave an AI review. Stay away from that stuff. It's trash. I'm sure it will be fine eventually, but even then, it doesn't take that long. You are familiar with the project. Make it a personalized response. It goes a long way, and it makes you believable as a company for when people who are assessing you to see a review and to see you answer. They know there's real people here, and they start getting a sense of who you are. A really important thing is formulate a strategy ahead of time for professionally addressing and dealing with negative reviews. So everybody's going to get them, and usually it's crazy customers who are or unreasonable customers. And you know this, if you've run a business for any amount of time, you've run into it. What you can't do is argue with them or fight with them or be nasty in response. It's not going to fix anything, and it's an opportunity. I mean, and your customers are going to know. I mean, people know who the 1-star leavers are. They've all seen it. They know what kind of attitudes behind that typically. They might read them, but they're going to read them, with a grain of salt. And it's a great chance for you to professionally and kindly address what they say. And you can rebut it. Usually it's inaccurate. And so you want to address that, but you want to address it professionally and keep it light. And so you want to have just a strategy in mind for how you do that. You don't want to read the review and get mad and be like, blah, blah, that's the temptation. I've had it myself. I'm like, oh, that person just straight up lied. None of that's true. And you want to go roast them and show everyone what a moron they are, but it doesn't help you. So don't do it. Someone leaves a great review, you thank them by name, thank them for their business, and say it was great working with them. It's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be complicated. And so if you're looking for help with this or looking for a tool, there's a couple things that we got here we could talk about. The first is Revenue Commander, and this is a tool that we've kind of enhanced and developed, and we're rolling it out to our customers bit by bit. But it's a lot of things. And one of the things that it is a review monitoring and responding and requesting tool. It's all of these things. And so it will help you monitor reviews, and it makes it easy to respond to reviews because you connect your Google Business Profile to it and you can use that to answer it right from the platform. And we've built in there a multi-step review process from text messages and emails to just politely ask for a review. And then let you know their feedback. So it kind of pre-checks them, hey, 1 through 5, are you happy, not happy? If it's kind of on the low side, you don't really send them to leave you a review, but you say, hey, give us feedback. We want to hear about this. And it delivers that to you so that you can interact with that customer. And, if you did something wrong, make it right. If they're just being unreasonable, you can have that conversation, but it steers them away from the reviews. And if someone is leaving positive responses, then it steers them towards leaving you a positive review, and tons more. It's a full CRM. It will do marketing for you. You can do email stuff. You can do automations. So an example of that is forms. So there's lots of times here where, like, I needed pest control. We had I don't know what it was, bees or something, wanted to get taken care of around the house. Don't want them stinging the kids. And so I filled out a form to the pest control company with the most and best reviews, right? Just like I said, that's what I did. And they never responded. I submitted the form like 2 more times, like, I'm not doing this. Like, this is ridiculous. So they never got back to me, and they're losing business. And this happens a lot. It shocks me how often it happens. And I probably should call the owners and try to sell them services, but I'm busy. Well, what you can do and what you should do and what we do, if you've ever scheduled a call with us, a sales call with us at least, is you set up automation. So someone fills out a form, bam, they get an email acknowledgement. Hey, thanks for submitting your request. We got it. It's been assigned to our team. Here's what happens next. And so the person who submitted the form knows, all right, great. They know I'm here. They know what I need. And I know what's going to happen next. And you can also have that automation let your team know, whoever it is, like, hey, we got a sales call, we got, lead came in, we have a service inquiry, something like an estimate, whatever. So building these automations into your forms is a really, really important and smart thing to do. And this is something that we build for our own customers inside Revenue Commander. It does a ton of stuff. I'm not going to go through all of this, but removing our call tracking to it, just it's fantastic software. It can replace, it really can replace $1,000 worth a month of tools if you're paying for all this stuff. And if you're not a customer, you can just buy it from us directly if you wanted to. It's $97 a month. We charge $300 to set it up and configure it, like load your emails or whatever you need set up in it. And it's a great platform, and it comes with our review automation sequence. So if you don't have a tool, if you're interested in a tool, just reply to the follow-ups or replay email, whatever comes out, and we'll get you talking, Jason. We'll get you taken care of. And last thing, we have something new for you that I'm working on. What we're doing is we're going after the near me terms. And so I'm going to show you a paving list. And so I am building a national directory of paving companies. And the reason for this is when we look at terms like Paving Company Cincinnati or Paving Company Milwaukee or Paving Company whatever, if you look at the organic results, what you see is, what do you see? You see Yelp, you see Angie a lot of the time, you see Better Business Bureau, which is just ridiculous. But you see these directory sites, and but they're, everybody knows what Yelp is. We don't want to talk about Yelp. And everybody knows what Angie is. And we know what Angie's deal is. The purpose of this is not for to generate leads for us necessarily. It's to give paving companies a chance to show up in a directory for paving companies. We're also going to be turning on reviews here. So another kind of roadblock that happens for people leaving reviews is they don't want to use their name, or they don't want to use their Google account. They just rather not. And so having an option, and you can, or Facebook, but the same thing, people don't like doing Facebook. You can't leave a review on Angie if you don't have an account, I don't think, or you haven't done a project. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't use it, so I don't know. But having a dedicated directory for paving companies, where paving companies can have profiles, paving companies can upload project pictures, you can get reviews on it, all these things. It will, as it goes along, it'll become a great list of paving companies for consumers to search and find people to call. But it will also be a great resource for paving companies to generate business. And as the site strengthens, as we do what we do to make sites stronger, it will compete for those terms, like Paving Company Cincinnati. And so this is a directory you're going to want to be on. We will be marketing it and advertising it. I think it's going to be a great thing for paving companies. And so you can find it at pavinglist.com and go and add your company. I think we'll have a link in the email that goes out. So go ahead and get on that. And if you need help, just add your company. I think it lets us, you might have to log in and do that, but you're probably already in there. I've loaded like 7,000 paving companies in there. So yeah, grab your listing, update it. Let us know if you want to help. I'll be happy to do it, especially if you're a customer. And yeah, get on there. You'll see it. I'm going to make it happen. So any takeaways? I will just say again, get those reviews. It's so important. Just, if you take away nothing else from this, get reviews. That's it. And if you want help with any of this, you can post Let's Talk in the comments, or better yet, just go schedule a call. We do a pretty nice marketing audit and reputation review. We look at what's going on for you. Just have a conversation about, see if there's a way for us to help you. And of course, you can just call us at the number on the screen here. Talk to Jason, he'll get you scheduled, or go through the form at pavingmarketers.com/apply now. All right, that is the end. Appreciate you joining. Replay will come out after this. And thanks for joining. Hope you have a great day. Till next month.